Hello, this is Rdu from Team MYM, and I present you the Freeze Mage Premium Guide that I promised you on stream a few days ago. This is a slightly modified version of the deck that I used to win DreamHack. Most of you know me from this DreamHack Summer, the tournament that I have won playing this deck in the finals. But I won a lot of tournaments before DreamHack Summer. In every tournament I like to bring a special deck, something to innovate the meta and try something special. At DreamHack Summer I played Freeze Mage. I used Freeze Mage in the finals with great success, but before that it had some bad games because of the matchups. I will explain all of this in this video. So, we can start with explaining every card. Ice Lance. Ice Lance is used mainly for damage purposes, but I prefer to use Ice Lance to freeze minions. As you can probably know from the DreamHack videos, I use Ice Lance very offensively just to protect my ice block for one more turn or something like that. But a lot of people are saying that what I do with Ice Lance is not good because they think you should only keep Ice Lance for damage, and that's not always right. It's a very situational card. It can be used in many ways, and that's why it's very good in this deck. Mirror Images. This is one of the most interesting cards in this deck. I prefer to use Mirror Image to protect something like Acolyte of Pain, or even Azure Drake, or even Doomsayer. For example, in turn 3 you can just play Doomsayer and Mirror Image, and it will probably not die unless they have something like Sap or other targetable removal cards. Also, Mirror Image can be used, for example, turn 1 just to slow your opponent down, or when you make him run out of cards, just to make the game last longer until you get your burst. Frostbolt is obviously one of the best cards because it combos so well with Ice Lance, and you can just use Frostbolt on his minions, but I would not recommend that. So, in my opinion, you should only use Frostbolt on a minion when it's only needed, and you should never use both Frostbolts on minions or monsters, whatever you want to call them, because they are just wasted potential. So if you want to Frostbolt a monster, only Frostbolt it once. The second Frostbolt you should keep it for the Ice Lances. Same with Ice Lance. If you don't have to, only use one. If you are forced to use the second one to make the game last longer, don't hesitate to do that, but unless you have to, just keep them. Talnos is, I think, the best card in this deck. Well, not really, because every card is important, but I like Talnos a lot because you have a lot of spells. Your deck is made to burst your opponent down, so Talnos is clearly the MVP of the deck. Let me explain you the best combo with Talnos. So the best combo is turn 10 or whatever with 10 mana. You can just Talnos, Frostbolt, double Ice Lance and Fireball for 21 damage. That's the most reliable combo in the game, and that is the only way you can win versus a warrior. Turn 9 Alexstrasza, turn 10 Pyroblast, and after that Talnos and the combo with Frostbolt, double Ice Lance and Fireball for the win. I use this combo quite a lot because it's very efficient, and it only uses one Frostbolt and one Fireball, so you can use the other parts to keep the board control as you want it, and that's also always very good. Doomsayer. Doomsayer is here just for clearing the board. It's a tricky card. I mean, your opponent usually has a way to remove it, but if he doesn't have a way to remove it, you will be in a very good shape for clearing the board for free. Usually you play Doomsayer in combination with Frost Nova on turn 5. It used to be on turn 4 before Frost Nova got nerfed, but in this meta you can only play it on turn 5. Also you can play it on turn 8 with in a combination with Blizzard, or just in combination with Ice Lance or Frostbolt, or with Mirror Image. I think Doomsayer is the card that you can combo with a lot of cards. You can also play it on his own. For example, you play Doomsayer turn 5 versus a Miracle Rogue to deny him the Auctioneer Conceal play, or the Auctioneer play, or the Azure Drake play. Or you can play Doomsayer on turn 8 just to have a clear board on turn 9, so you can drop your Alexstrasza on a clear board. Also, you can just play Doomsayer in any turn just to make your opponent waste 7 damage. That's also a very good thing. Okay, Novice Engineer. At DreamHack I used Loot Hoarder because a lot of people were playing Shaman, and not so many people were having removals for Loot Hoarder, and at the time I really thought Loot Hoarder is better because it's harder to kill, and it's better for clearing the board, for trading and stuff like that. But in this meta with everybody playing double sap in Miracle Rogue and stuff like that, you don't want to play your Loot Hoarder into a sap, so that's why you play Novice Engineer. This card used to be very good in like, I don't know, 1 month ago, where the meta favorized it when it was a 1-2, but now it's really bad. It was considered really bad, but in this deck the only purpose of this card is to draw a card, and it's very good. It's better than Loot Hoarder because you get the draw 100%, and then you don't care about the damage because you will Alexstrasza your opponent anyways. Arcane Intellect is self-explanatory, draw power. I think you have all the good draw power cards in here. Arcane Intellect is very strong. Frost Nova. Frost Nova is one of the freezing spells used in this deck, and one of the reasons it's called Freeze Mage. You can combo Frost Nova with Doomsayer, or you can just use it as standalone to prepare for a Blizzard. A good combo I like to use is Frost Nova turn 5, Blizzard turn 6, Flamestar turn 7. You just make your opponent waste 3 turns, and you can get to that turn 9 that you really want. Ice Barrier. I used to play double Ice Barrier because a lot of people played Zoo, but I think that only one Ice Barrier is enough, because if you get double Ice Barrier in your hand, you pretty much lost the game, because it's a very bad card to have twice. It's a dead draw most of the times, but I found out that running only one piece of Ice Barrier is really good in this deck. Ice Block, probably the best card of the deck. Ice Block, Talnos, and Alex and Pyro. These are the MVPs. Ice Block is very overpowered, and was very overpowered, and will always be overpowered, just because you can survive. I mean, just read the card. When your hero takes fatal damage, prevent it and become immune this turn. So if you have lethal in 2 turns and you have 1 or 2 ice blocks, you just guarantee yourself the game. It's easy. Vaporize. I play this because of a lot of people playing Miracle and Shaman. It's very good versus Alakir, as you can see in the game versus Darquanix, where I killed his Alakir with Vaporize, and also is good versus Leroy or some big druid cards. Acolyte of Pain. Acolyte of Pain is one of the best draw cards in the game, because if you play him, you just guarantee yourself 1 draw, unless he has a silence, which is not like that likely. But if you play him turn 5, you guarantee yourself 2 draws. It depends. You have to be very careful not to overdraw. Sometimes it can happen that you overdraw, but that's okay unless you overdraw Alexstrasza. Fireball is a very good spell. Burst. Why do I see Mirror Image all the time? Every card on every golden card that I put a mouse, I just see Mirror Image. It's very strange. That card is present in all the cards. Azure Drake. a very important card draw, but I only want to run I only run one of them, just because if you play two and you get two in the hand, you don't need them. You need him just like just for a tempo play. You don't need him for the damage. So one is enough. Double Azure Drake is just bad, like Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier and Azure Drake, if you have one of them, it's perfect. If you have two, it's just too much. Blizzard and Flame Strike. These are the one of the most important cards, because they are the clear engine. They are the AoE spells that clear the board very easy, and you have to run two of those. I remember the times where Blizzard was at 5, and also Cone of Cold at 2, where at 3, and all the people were playing Cone of Cold in the Freeze Mage. But now, being 4 cost, it's a card that is just bad for the deck. You don't really need to play Cone of Cold. Maybe only in the Giants version, but it's just too much for mana for this. Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza is the card you need in every game, but you probably never keep unless it's a mirror match. You just want to stall the game until turn 9 and then play Alexstrasza, having your ice block equipped so you don't die, and then just burst your opponent in the following 1 or 2 turns. It depends on your hand, his ability to heal and other stuff. And last but not least, Pyroblast, the card that got nerfed from 8 to 10. This deck used to play 2 Pyroblasts, now 1 is enough, and 1 is very good. You can just, for example, if he has like 20 HP or even more, you can burst him to be under 10 while you have an ice block equipped and you have Pyroblast in hand, and if he doesn't heal, you win. I did that at DreamHack a lot, and it worked most of the times. Okay, now let me explain good and bad matchups. Very good matchups are Shaman, Miracle Rogue, and probably all the classes that don't have a heal. Let me see. So versus Hunter, it's decent unless they run 1 or 2 flares. If they don't have flare, you just win. Versus Paladin and Rogue and Shaman, it's easy. Versus Warlock, it should be the easiest matchup. I mean, when you see a Warlock and you play Freeze Mage, you should be very happy. If it's Giants Mage, Giants Warlock, sorry, like Handlock, you can just you'll draw a lot of cards until they play their cards, and then you can just freeze, and then you can even burst them down without Alexstrasza, because they will life tap most of the time. Okay, Priest is a decent matchup. It depends. You can Alexstrasza turn 9 and then burst them in 2 turns, and they will probably not have enough healing spells to keep up. Druid is a very hard matchup, because if they play Ancient of Lore and Hero Power and kill Alexstrasza somehow with their board after you use the Alexstrasza, they can win the game, because they will be at 21. The only way you can kill a Druid is Alexstrasza and then have the Talnos combo. That's probably the only way. Or him making a misplay and not keeping Ancient of Lore for the heal or stuff like that. The matchup versus Warrior is impossible by running this version of the deck. You can not win unless he makes a misplay. I mean, you win like 1 out of 100 games versus a Warrior. If the Warrior armors up every single turn, you will just lose, because you don't have enough damage to burst him down. That's it. Okay, let me tell you what cards you can swap. So, for this deck, I really think that Alexstrasza is essential, and also the draw power cards and the ice block. The cards that you can swap and not play are Pyroblast. You can just replace him with Antonidas if you have Antonidas from a pack and you don't have Pyroblast, for example. Or you can just replace any draw power card with Coalite Oracle or Loot Hoarder if you don't have some of them. And you can just don't play Talnos and play Cobalt Geomancer, but it won't be the same thing. I mean, if you really want to play Freeze Mage, you should invest and play this deck, I really think that this is the best version of the deck at the moment, and it is a decent deck for ladder, unless you play versus a warrior or druid. Um, so yeah, thank you for watching this guide, and I hope I helped you. I will release a lot of guides in the next weeks. So tune in to my YouTube channel, follow my Twitch, follow my Twitter, and enjoy. Have a nice day.